Yeah, dear student, welcome back to the revision class of account. This is chapter 3, theory base of accounting, and today we are going to study basic assumption and some accounting principles. Okay? So first assumption is going concern assumption. So going concern assumption says that owner may come and owner will go and the business will go on for indefinite period. Okay? What does it mean? For example, Tata was established in the year 1885 approximately. Okay, by J.R.D. Tata. Okay, after that it is succeeded by Ratan Tata. Okay, afterward it is succeeded by Cyrus Mistry. Now he has been removed. Now some dispute is going on. I don't know who is in the real in charge of Tata and Sons. So this is the assumption that owner may come and owner may go, but the business will go on for indefinite period. See, company is going on and owners, employees and everybody is changing. Clear? So in this way it is considered, and that is why distinction is made between the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Now what does it mean? It simply means that we buy in believing fixed asset. Clear? Now what is the benefit? As we believe that business will go on for indefinite period, so definitely we believe in buying fixed asset. There is no harm, for example, in taking even shop on rent, but we, according to this assumption, we believe in buying it. See, there are two cases, A and B. Both have bought a shop for, consider an example, 10 lakh. Clear? B has also bought for a shop 10 lakh. Sorry. A has bought a shop for 10 lakh and B has taken a shop of rupees 10 lakh on rent or lease. Legal word for the rent is lease. Okay? Now A has taken a loan and paying principal plus interest. We can believe it that 10,000 every year. So that comes to 1 lakh. Okay? 5. This person is also paying 10,000 as a rent, 1 lakh as a rent, 1 lakh 20,000. Okay? One person has bought the shop and paying principal plus interest 1 lakh 20,000 or 10,000 per month. Now consider this thing. Principal is 1 lakh and interest is 20,000. Clear? Here this person is paying rent of 1 lakh 20,000 every year. Clear? Now see, after 5 years. After 5 years, what will be the situation? This person has almost paid 5 lakh towards principal and almost 1 lakh for interest. Clear? Now forget this amount. What we are going to consider is 5 lakh only. Now here in this case, this person has almost paid 6 lakh as rent. Clear? But that rent is a dead amount, so nothing will happen. Clear? So there is nothing. Clear? Now here he is owner by 50%. Rent is a dead amount. You will get nothing by paying the rent. Clear? Here the person is this, because this person has paid 5 lakh towards the principal, so this person is owner by 50%. On the other hand, rent paid is the dead amount. Clear? Now, for example, after 5 years, there will definitely be an increment in the cost of the shop, say by 20%. Increment in the cost of this asset by 20%. Here rent is going to be increased. So rent now it will become 12,000. Okay? Now for example, this person is going to sell the shop. Clear? So now the cost of the shop is 12 lakh. Clear? He has paid 5 lakh as the principal. Now he is owner by 50%. Clear? How much he has to pay to the bank? 5. If he is going to sell this thing, after making the payment, rest is money. Here, rent is a dead amount. You will not get nothing. Here, if the owner says vacant my shop, then you are supposed to vacant. Why I am telling you this thing? That this assumption creates a difference between the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. If you this doesn't say that you have to buy a shop only. No, if you are having less amount of the capital, there is no harm in buying the or taking the shop on rent. But what this concern says that if you are able or capable to buy the fixed asset, buy it. Even if you are buying it alone, this thing will give you an increment because the price. If you have heard the factors of the production, land is a fixed factor of production, so price of the land will always increase. Clear? So why I am showing you this table? Because there is a difference. If you are buying an asset on loan and after 5 years you are owner by 50%, your rent paid is a dead amount. Clear? So you will get nothing. Here the person has got the increment of 20%. The price of the asset has increased. Now the 10 lakh worth of shop is 20% increase. Now it is of 12 lakh. Here the owner says the vacant the shop, you will get nothing. 6 lakh paid is a dead amount. So there is a difference between the revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. The saying of this assumption is just obligatory, not compulsory. There is no harm in even taking a shop on rent or lease. But what this assumption says that business will go on for indefinite period. So if you are having the capacity, it's better to buy the shop. I hope this thing will help you. Now we are shifting to next assumption. Now our second assumption is consistency assumption. The meaning of consistency is regularity. What is the meaning? The meaning of consistency is regularity. So this assumption says that accounting practices once selected and adopted continue for a longer period of the time. Do not change it on frequent basis. How? I will explain it. Now every asset is supposed to have a depreciation. Depreciation means reduction in value. Now there are 18 methods of charging depreciation. Okay? There are 18 methods of charging depreciation. But the basic purpose for which account is prepared is to know that we are earning profit or loss account, and accountancy helps in the comparison of accounts. Clear? If we are able to compare it, but how comparison is possible if we are following the same method of applying the depreciation. Now 18 method, for example, I will tell you just two. That is fixed installment method and diminishing balance. Now for example, again A has bought a machine of 10 lakh on 1/4/20. Same here, 10 lakh. Now you have to charge depreciation at the rate 10%. So that comes to 1 lakh. Here also it will come 1 lakh. Next year 1/4/21, the value is 9 lakh. Here also 9 lakh. But under fixed installment method, the amount of depreciation will remain uniform every year, and here it will change. So what will happen next year? Again, debt at the rate 10%. Here same 1 lakh. But here 10% is calculated on this value. So that is 90,000. Now you can easily see the difference. The value of machine as on 1/4/22 is 8 lakh here, and here it is 8 lakh 10,000. Clear? There is no harm in selecting any of the method explained above. But problem is this: when you are going to compare your accounts or results, if you are continuously changing the method from this to this, or 18 years you are applying 18 methods of the depreciation. So at the end of 18 years, your accounts will give a misleading judgment or misleading figure, you are not able to compare yourself. There is no harm in changing the method of accountancy unless accompanied or warranted by some urgent situation. For example, I give you the introduction about GST. GST has been introduced by the government. It's compulsory for you to adopt the GST. So there is no harm. If the government says, if the law says, there is no harm. But what this assumption is saying, that you shall not change your accountancy techniques and practices on frequently. Otherwise, you will not be able to compare your result, and in the end, it will give a misleading judgment. See, just in 2 years, there is a difference has arisen. From fixed installment, the cost of the asset is 8 lakh. From diminishing balance method, the cost of the asset is 8 lakh 10,000. So, if you frequently change, in the end, it will give a misleading judgment. Okay. Next assumption. Okay. Now third assumption is accrual assumption. So what this assumption says, that the moment transaction has been done, you record it in your books of account and do not wait for the settlement. Now what is the settlement? Every product is having its credit cycle. What is having credit cycle? Say for cloth industry, it's from 90 to 120 days. Only the person is paying amount at the retail shop. Nobody else in between the chain pays the amount. So for example, if any transaction is done on 1st of March, clear? The amount will come on 31st May or 30th June. So what do? Are you going to stop your books of account for month? We will record the transaction, then the cash will come. No, this will not happen. This assumption says the moment transaction is done, record it in your books of account. Do not wait for the settlement. Because if you are selling on 1st of the month, what will happen? On 31st March, your books of account will get closed. Clear? So do not wait for the settlement. Do not wait for the money to come in. The moment transaction is done, record it in your books of account. Clear? So under this concept, profit is regarded as earned the moment transaction is done. Profit is regarded on this day. So recorded profit, revenue, both things are recorded on the 1st of the month. Though it is realized, it is going to be realized on 31st May or 30th June or whatever it might be the reason. But whenever it will come, don't worry for that. So revenue is recognized on 1st of the month. On the other hand, it is going to be realized on these days. This is the basic difference. Clear? These are the basic assumptions. Now we will shift to the principle. First is accounting entity, next is money measurement, third is accounting period, next is full disclosure, materiality, prudence or conservatism, cost concept or historical cost, matching principle, dual aspect, revenue recognition, and last 11 verifiable object. Clear? These are the 11 basic principles around which the accountancy rotates. So first is accounting entity or separate entity principle. This says that owner is separate and business is separate. Clear? And what business believes in, that it has borrowed money from owner. That is why capital is always shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. Clear? Next principle is money measurement. This shows that only those transactions are recordable in the books of account which possess some monetary value, only in terms of money. Only quantitative characteristics are recorded, qualitative characteristics are not recorded. Honesty is not measurable in books of account. So only business transactions which possess monetary value are recognized or recordable in the books of account. Next is accounting period. This is little bit related to the going concern assumption, which says that business will go on for indefinite period. Okay, so accounting period says that we agree that business is going to be for recordable time of, means for ever time. But how to measure your performance? So in order to measure your performance, accounting period says that record your or prepare your books of account in 12 months or 1 year, whenever you fit. Clear? So for accounting period for partnership and sole proprietorship, from the first day of between 2 Diwalis, 2 Christmas, anywhere, 2 Navaratri, anywhere it can happen. But for company, that is from 1st April to 31st March. Clear? Accounting period is fixed. As your session is fixed from 1st April to 31st March, in the same way, accounting period is fixed. Next is full disclosure. Actually, this principle is related to the companies. Especially for the companies who are borrowing capital from public. Otherwise, not. Private company is not supposed to make full disclosure because they are earning their own money. But if there is a company who has borrowed his or her capital from the public, then you have to follow the full disclosure principle. At the year end, you have to show your performance in one of the leading newspaper of the country and one in the vernacular. Vernacular means local language. For example, if it is in Rajasthan, then the local newspaper, and one in the leading like Times of India, Hindustan Times. Nowadays, companies that says that you have to show your quarterly result, not yearly. So every quarter you have to give an advertisement in the newspaper regarding the same. Okay? Next is materiality. Materiality says any event or information which might change the mind of potential investor is material. Okay? Any information. If you are investing in somewhere money and you got some information that this company is not good, do not make an investment. Okay? Similarly, if there is a repair, for example, there is a repair of 2 lakh for an enterprise having an operation of 20 lakh is or 10 lakh is a problem, material. But for an enterprise having operation of 50 lakh, there is no problem. Okay? This is called material. Next is prudence or conservative. Prudence principle says that do not anticipate your profit, always make accounting for your losses so that you will never have a loss in your entire life. Okay? Now what does that mean? For example, this is the any season is going on, and in this season you are having an estimation that I will earn 5 lakh of the profit, and you spend profit 5 lakh, but at the end you realize that profit is of 2 lakh only. Okay? So you will have a loss of 3 lakh. So that shall not happen. Do not anticipate profit. On the other hand, make proper accounting for your losses so that you will never have a loss. Now what are the losses? For example, nowadays you will see that flood is coming in. So if your business is situated in flood prone area, just lift your building or warehouse upside, uplift your godown so that you will not have a loss from the flood. Take proper insurances. In this way, you are supposed to do the steps in order to minimize or eliminate the risk. Next is cost concept or historical cost concept. Cost concept means an asset is recorded in the books of account at which it is acquired. Clear? Acquired means cost of the purchase plus expenses. I gave you the example of machinery. If it is purchased from the Japan for 2 lakh and after incurring all the expenses, if it is costing you 3 lakh, then 3 lakh will be recordable in the books of account, not the 2 lakh, and depreciation will be charged on that amount. Okay? This is cost concept or history. Next is matching principle. Matching principle says that your expenses shall match with the revenue. Okay? For example, in this time any salesman is going on to have an order or to do the sale, but he didn't get a single order. On the other hand, he brought the amount of previous year. So if he is bringing the amount of previous year, we are going to accept it. He will not say that matching principle says that expenses shall match with the revenue. There is no harm in accepting your previous dues. But at the same time, if your salesman is traveling in this year, he or she should bring some amount of the sale, so that expenses done by the salesman shall match with the revenue earned by you. Okay? Next is dual aspect. As we follow double entry system of bookkeeping, dual aspect says that every transaction is having two sides, that is debit and credit. Now what is revenue recognition? I told you in the accrual assumption, the moment transaction is done, do not wait for the settlement. Means do not wait for the amount to come in. The moment transaction is done, it is recordable in the books of account. On the other, revenue will be recognized afterwards. Next is verifiable objective principle. This principle says that every transaction shall be supported by some documentary evidence. Clear? Like any receipt, cash memo, bill, whatever it is. So every transaction shall be supported. Otherwise, a person will enter innumerable transaction and will not show any profit and no tax will be payable to the government. Thank you. I hope this revision will help you. If you are having any doubt, then let me know by messaging me. Happy learning.